you want some strawberries? Ooh, I love strawberries, but I just started this new diet where I cut out all sugar, even sugar from fruit. That sounds really intense. How's that going for you? I mean, it's going great so far. I'm like 5 hours in. I think I might have seen an ab in your bathroom lighting. So, things are getting pretty serious. That's awesome, girl. Good for you.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
In this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 weight loss mistakes that kept me from losing the weight. This is part 2 of an entire weight loss mistakes series because I've made a lot of mistakes on my fitness journey so far. I'm going to link part 1 at the end of this video if you want to check that out as well. So whether you have 5 or 100 pounds to lose, stick around to the very end because you're going to want to make sure you're not making any of the mistakes I made that could be keeping you from getting the body and lifestyle you've always wanted. Super quick note here, you cannot hate yourself into a body you love. Weight loss does not equal happiness. I don't think I am more or less beautiful in this photo or this photo. I am not a doctor or a dietitian. I'm not giving you medical advice, but I am a new mom, a Silicon Valley-based business owner, angel investor, lifetime natural pro bikini champion, a former yo-yo dieter, and somebody that has always struggled with getting lean and staying lean because I just love food so damn much. I want to snuggle with it. I want to caress it, but most importantly, I just want to eat it all the time. Okay, so let's get into the mistakes that kept me fat, part 2. Mistake number 7, not figuring out how to make meal prep work for me and my personality. We all know that meal prepping is essential to weight loss because restaurants tend to put a lot of additional calories in their food to keep you coming back because calories just taste so good. But when you just do a quick little Google search for the term meal prep for weight loss, here's what you get. I mean, look at those containers. Look at those balls. Look at that salad. I mean, how long does this take? 2 hours of cooking? I mean, just look at these images. Who's ever doing this, these are the kind of people you want to partner with, like on a group project. They're probably going to be the type A people doing all the work. Who has the attention span or discipline for this? For those that do, I mean, I'm not worthy. You've clearly got something figured out. But the times that I actually tried to execute on a meal prep like this, one of 2 things would happen. A day or 2 into sticking to my diet, I'd get really bored of whatever it is that I meal prepped, and I'd find myself going back to my old ways. Walking over to Whataburger. Yeah, Whataburger. It was close to my apartment. Or 2, I just forgo meal prepping altogether because I was just too overwhelmed and intimidated by the process to begin with. I mean, look at all these containers. Who has the attention span for this? So instead of trying to lean into a meal prep process like this that was clearly not designed for someone like me, I found a version that works for me, and it involves prepping just 2 Tupperware containers, maybe just 1 sometimes. And this has been the extent of my meal prep process for years. I did this when I worked in an office and was traveling a lot, as well as in that work from home life. Let me tell you exactly what I do, and maybe this will work for you too. In the first container is typically a source of protein that's ready to eat immediately when I'm hungry and I just want to reach for the Oreos or the peanut butter. This could be boneless, skinless chicken breast, chicken thighs, lentils if you're a vegetarian, sea bass, tofu, beef steak, whatever you're into at the time. I make an effort to switch it up as much as possible so I do not get bored. In dire situations where I have not meal prepped, I usually have a carton of egg whites in the fridge because you can microwave egg whites in less than 2 minutes, put it on an English muffin, add some cheese, and boom, you've got yourself a homemade healthy egg McMuffin. Yay! But most of the time, a standard part of my meal prep routine is making a large batch of protein 2 to 3 times per week. I'll typically make this in a very low touch way, like using an Instant Pot or an oven, or doing them overnight in a slow cooker. I'll add tons of spices to make things taste good and be interesting. Point is, you don't need to turn into this like meal prep extraordinaire type of person overnight. This is like serial killer meal prep status. Now you might be like, Juliana, why is prepping protein so important? All these people on the internet are telling me I have to prep these full-blown meals. Well, first of all, protein is usually the hardest to meal prep. It's pretty easy to grab some carbs or fats really quickly, but protein, that usually takes a little bit more time to actually cook. Including some protein in your meals helps you stay fuller, longer, and when you're full, you're less likely to snack on random stuff that's not going to do much for your fitness goals. The act of just digesting protein burns more calories than any other macronutrient you can consume. No joke, what I'm talking about here is something called the thermic effect of food, and protein has a high thermic effect. So for example, let's say you eat 100 calories of protein, about 20 to 30 of those calories is going to go towards just digesting the food to give your body more energy. So protein is basically like the passive income of food. You get it? It's like working while you're not doing anything, passive income. This is not financial advice. And lastly, having a higher protein intake, especially during dieting, helps you hang on to more muscle tone. The more muscle tone you have on your body, the more energy, aka calories, your body needs to maintain itself, so the more food you can eat and not get fat. Yay! Now you might be thinking, hey Juliana, what's in the second Tupperware container? That Tupperware container will go a very large portion of spiced up vegetables. Before you click off, even if you are emotionally allergic to vegetables, there is always a way to make them taste good for low calories. And even if you can't do that, you just tuck them in, you just hide them. But you want to eat them in your diet and you want to include them in your meal prep because they're super low in calories, so you can eat a ton of them. They're super high in fiber, so it makes you feeling full, and like you're gonna poop so well. You know when you're constipated? Life's not fun, you can't enjoy it. When you're pooping good, it'll change your life. Just think about how good your gut's gonna feel when you're on like a really regular, consistent pooping schedule. You know what I'm saying? It's life-changing. Yay! So eat your vegetables, you're gonna poop great. I'll roast veggies in the oven, I'll saute them with very light oil in a pan, I'll pop them in the air fryer if I want them a little bit more crispy. But often if I'm really lazy, I just pop them in the Instant Pot and steam them for a little bit, and then I just cover up my laziness with a bunch of hot sauce. I mean, at the end of the day, anything you screw up or just too lazy to prepare, just throw some hot sauce on it. You burnt the chicken? Throw some hot sauce on it. Made some nasty ass vegetables? Hot sauce. Can't pay your bills? Hot sauce. In situations where I haven't prepped my veggies, I always have one of these containers of a bunch of spinach in my fridge. She said spinach, click off. Before you click off, listen, when it comes to spinach, here's the key. You just gotta tuck it in. You tuck it in. You gotta wrap. You tuck it in. Hot sauce. So what we're doing here with this meal prep strategy is we're taking the two hardest and most important things to meal prep that you want in your diet, and then we're constantly playing around with the carbs and fats to produce a meal that will appease our food brain.
Now, if you watch my other videos, you know that this isn't all I eat, but my other meals are extremely easy to throw together.
Now you might be like, you eat carbs? Carbs are bad, blah. When you equate calories and protein, there's really no difference between the low carb stuff and doing a balanced approach. And for me, when I've tried doing more restrictive approaches in the past where I eliminate entire food groups, that just led me to binging. At the end of the day, all these diets, the low carbs, the intermittent fasts, all of that, it relies on being in a calorie deficit. So my mindset's been, you might as well enjoy the calories you gotta eat, right?
Mistake number 8.
I did not understand how harmful yo-yo dieting is. Funny, no one thinks they're gonna be that guy or gal that gains back all the weight, but then you're like, shoulda listened to Juliana. I would always hear yo-yo dieting is bad for you, it hurts your body, blah, blah, blah. But to me, that talk always just kind of fell into like dramatic things your mom would say to you to get you from like living your best life. Like, put your jacket on before you go outside,
or you'll catch a cold.
So when I would hear, don't yo-yo diet, it only hurts your body, I would just be like, yeah, whatever. I gotta drop 10 pounds in a month because I'm going on vacation. So shut up and tell me what to eat because I wanna look hot for the pictures. But here's a fact. Yo-yo dieting is a surefire way to make you fatter. All these diets being advertised should really read something like this. Want to drop 10 pounds in a month and hate your life and your entire diet? Lose a bunch of water weight and muscle tone that keeps your metabolism strong? Only to then regain it much faster and easier than you ever have before? Well, great. All you gotta do is you gotta cut out this, and you gotta cut out that, and you gotta develop a horrible relationship with food that might traumatize you for the rest of your life, and you'll be looking hot in no time. So I heard about these studies from a guy named Layne Norton. So I'm gonna link his book and his channel below. But essentially there's been studies done in twins, same genetics, and they found that the twin that always dieted more in their lifetime was the fatter twin. Now you might be like, Juliana, why could that be the case? Wouldn't you think the twin that was dieting more would be the skinnier twin? Well, no, because our bodies are very smart. Each time you decide to go on a diet, you send signals to your body to essentially put in place stronger protection mechanisms to keep you from losing weight again. Your body's like, could this be famine? Could this be starvation? Wow, I better be ready for the next time this potentially happens again. This is why on my channel I'm always talking about implementing habits that you believe that you can sustain for the rest of your life, not just in the dieting phase. Because as soon as you go back to your old ways, that is when the weight will come back on. So the people that are constantly gaining and losing 10 pounds throughout their lifetime, these are the ones that wake up one day and struggle big time to lose the weight. People often attribute their slow metabolism to aging, but assuming you stay active and strength trained to maintain as much muscle tone as possible, there's research looking at over 6,000 subjects, which shows that metabolism really doesn't slow down until about age 60, and even then it's only very slight. So if you are going to diet and focus on losing that last 5 to 10 pounds once and for all, only implement the new habits and skills that you can see yourself maintaining for the rest of your life.
Mistake number 9.
Not implementing diet breaks when I needed them. Now, I think I originally heard about diet breaks through a Jeff Nippard video. There's a study done in obese individuals suggesting that diet breaks preserve metabolism much more than just like a straight line, no diet break approach. Just because of the mental break that they give me, I think they're totally worth it. A diet break is kind of like it sounds. You're not gaining weight, but you're not losing weight either. You're just maintaining at your new weight by eating at your new maintenance calories. So for example, let's say I'd been cruising along on my diet, losing about 1 pound a week. This rate of fat loss suggests that I'm at about a 500 calorie a day deficit. So hypothetically, if I increased my calories by an additional 500 calories a day above what I was eating when I was dieting, I would essentially not be gaining weight or losing weight anymore. I would just be really maintaining where I'm at currently. I would simply add in something small that I had been craving every single day. So going off the 500 calorie example, what I would do is I would maybe add like some source of carb to my lunch, because lunch was when I would really get the most hungry during the day. At night, when like the sweet tooth really hit, that's when I would have something to help my craving with that. So oftentimes that ended up being Halo Top or some protein ice cream. These little things would bring me to an additional 500 calories a day and allow me a little bit more flexibility to make room for the treats I had been craving. Now, ideally, when it comes to diet breaks, you want these additional calories to come from something like carbohydrates because of some of the hormonal benefits that come with eating a little bit more carbs. But I don't always do that. It's just kind of like, what am I craving? And I work that in a little bit every day for as long as I need to mentally prepare myself to go back into the diet, finish the diet, do what I need to do. Don't be freaked out by a little bit of water weight in the first 3 days. If the scale keeps climbing, you might be eating above your maintenance calories. With this newfound energy I'm getting from this little bit of additional calories and a little bit more food freedom, I'll be able to go a little bit harder with my workouts, maybe focus on building a little bit more muscle while losing fat in the process. Great way to build muscle, lose fat is just eat at your maintenance calories and lift heavy weights. Okay, so that was a lot, okay? Leave a comment down below, whatever you're thinking. I love you guys so much. You've got this. Let's bring it in for a hug. You guys remember to make good choices, and I'll see you in the next video. This is not financial advice.